Good morning. It is Thursday, July 25th, and it's day 5 of the Film Yourself Challenge. So let's get started. I got my box of topics here. Let's see what we can get today. Alright. Today's topic, CCH student. This is my alma mater, Columbia College Hollywood, now known as California College of ASU. But let's go into the slightly back machine to 2013 when I was graduating from Portland Community College, and I was looking for some place to get my bachelor's degree. I knew at that time that I wanted to do script writing, and I was looking at different colleges and their programs that they had in the writing program to see if they had any classes in script writing, and went to a college fair in Portland, was looking around and talking to different schools, and my friend Jen, who was with me, said, well, what about a film school? Why don't you go to, check one of those out, or a couple of those? And I'd never really thought about it. To me, film school meant you were a director or an actor or producer. I didn't think about the fact that you'd have to be a script writer too. So we were looking around, and I came across the booth for Columbia College Hollywood. Took a look at it. It was a small private college, not-profit, and in the heart of Los Angeles, or I found out later, not quite in the heart, but it seemed really good. I checked out online and decided to apply. I got the application fee waiver, put my application in, and then I waited. And I waited and waited, and in the meantime I had changed my changed phones because one phone had died, and I didn't realize I hadn't updated my information. And finally I got an email saying, hey, we're trying to get a hold of you to do an interview. Can you give us a call back? And so I did, and we ended up setting an appointment, and I made the phone call, and it went really well. We had a good time talking and everything, and then about a month later I got an actual letter in the mail. That's what I almost said, an email in the mail. Letter in the mail stating that I was going to Hollywood. Woo! So that summer I saved up money and drove down to LA and found a place to live and all that good stuff. And it was interesting because, of course, at that time I was 45, and my biggest fear was, are these students going to actually like me? Are they going to want to work with me? And am I going to be able to, do the things that I need to do? My fears were quite unfounded because everybody there was just interested in making movies and being around people who wanted to make movies. At the end of my first year, I talked my friend into running for student government with me as president and vice president, and we won. And so my second year, I was president of the Student Government Association, still going to classes, working at the school, and then my third year, which was my final year, we switched places, and Nicole became the president and I was the vice president. I loved most of my classes. I really got into learning how to be a director and how to do cinematography, and I'm not all that great at it. My editing skills definitely need some improvement as well. There were issues with that. I think had I had a different instructor, it probably would have gone better. But I loved my time there. I ended up in my senior year living in my car, and though I had many offers to go back to Portland and live with some of my friends and my family and stuff, and find a job and whatever, I knew that finishing my degree was going to be extremely important to me. I had come so far and I didn't want to stop. So I ended up living in my car for 8 months, which was a interesting experience in itself, and something that I will explore more in depth at another time. But I ended up, after graduating, getting hired on full-time as the transportation coordinator, driving the shuttle vans back and forth. Of course, the pandemic changed a lot of things. We no longer offered housing, but they brought me back, and I worked in facilities, and I learned how to fix toilets and paint the walls and do things like that. And that was a great experience too. I really loved it. I loved working with my partner Johnny, and I worked in the equipment center, and it's all built up to this point to where now I'm still working for the school as the manager of production services and support, and I help the students get insurance and equipment and facility permits in order to, or film permits in order to film their projects. And I do a lot of other things around the school, and it's very interesting experience, developing a lot of new skills. I've had the opportunity to meet some new people and do different things, and I still do some film stuff as well. Whenever my friends give me a call, I make myself available to come help them on their sets, and just keep my hand in it, and still trying to get my writing stuff going as well. So yeah, Columbia College Hollywood always have a big place in my heart, and I will never forget that experience.